Happy Thanksgiving. There's so much to be thankful for this year: our health, our families, our faith, and our Savior. And when I think of Thanksgiving celebrations in the past, I remember family and friends gathering around a table or tables to eat wonderful food and to thank God for His incomparable grace in our lives and for the goodness that He has brought to our lives as well, which include one another. Growing up, there was always a place at our table for anyone who wanted it or needed it, a place to feel welcomed and loved and cared for. Isn't that just the way our Savior beckons us to Himself? To find our place in Him, to find a place at His table. When I think of finding our place, I immediately think of the parable of the lost son. We find the parable in the book of John, chapter 15. There are two brothers. The younger one demands his inheritance, leaves the family to squander away all that he's been given. The older brother dutifully stays home, tends to the lands and crops, and honors his father. When he had nothing left, when he had no hope, the younger son came to his senses and returned home to the father. He only asked that he be treated like one of his father's hired men, who were treated well and cared for. Instead, the father was waiting for him, ran to him as he approached, killed the fattened calf, and threw a big celebration for him because he once was lost and now was found. He was dead and was now alive. A table was set. A place of belonging was open and given. Now the older brother was upset, grumbled at his father, asking him why he would do this. He stayed and tended the lands. He never disobeyed and ran away. Yet his younger, disobedient brother was treated with such love. The father says to him, "My son, you are always with me, and everything I have is yours. But we had to celebrate. Your brother was dead, and he's alive again. He was lost and is found." Have you ever felt like the younger son? You don't feel you have a place, even in your own home, your own church? It can seem like the grass is greener on the other side, or in the other ministry, or, well, you fill in the blank. I want to assure you that you have a place with Jesus. His heart calls to you to draw near to Him, to have communion with Him, to accept Him fully. These past couple of years have brought so much turmoil and have caused many people, many believers even, to question if they have a place. They wonder where that place may be. I believe that God is calling us to be together, to fellowship with one another, to worship together, and to celebrate God's goodness together. Your place is with Jesus. Your place is with other believers, and your place is in the Salvation Army. You and I have an opportunity to seize. We have this moment in time that can either take us away from or draw us towards Jesus and His community. And I believe Christ calls us to Himself. He wants now more than ever for us to belong to Him and to know that our place is with Jesus. The father in this parable loved his sons equally. Their actions did not dictate his love. His home was their home. The inheritance, the land, the love, it was for both. God's love for us is the same. God is our home. His love for us is our shelter and our place of refuge. He brings a feast and sets a table before us to enjoy. Everything that God has is for us. He has such an extravagant love for us that is so full of grace. Will you receive that today? It's my prayer that if you do not feel you have a place to feel encouraged, cared for, or loved, come to the Salvation Army. Come to the church. You have a place here. If you're feeling lost or maybe just a little off the path, turn around. Come home to Jesus. You have a place with Him. If you're a believer, a soldier, an adherent, an employee, or an officer, or have just felt alone, come to Jesus. He is your home. And if you need a place of belonging and a place of acceptance, come home to church. Come home to the fellowship of other believers. Come home to Jesus. Find your place in him. May God bless you this Thanksgiving as you are reminded of his great love for you.